Diving now, just
I was just going to say, you're going to have to double up on your DIYs to burn some extra calories.
Exactly.
And today you were showing us how to make DIY coasters with these really cool badges.
Yes, and this came from a Facebook viewer. You know, we have some great viewers out there, and I always love it when they write me and they have questions. I want to do this. How should I do that? Or etc. So I got a little message from Janice Ann. I think we have her here.
She is here. Janice Ann?
Hi.
Hi there. Welcome.
Thank you.
She's from Florida. Have you seen Mark? Mark's there in Florida
I
somewhere. How about tell him we said hi?
He's about an hour away from me.
Okay. Well, you can probably still hear him.
Yeah, he's popping by. Don't worry. He's going to come visit you for lunch. He promised us.
Okay.
Hey, Janice Ann, why did you reach out to Ken in the first place?
Well, I have a really good friend that lives in Maryland, and her husband was in the Navy for 20 years, and she knows I like to make crafts, so she contacted me and asked me if I knew or had any idea how to make some coasters out of her husband's patches. So I went to Pinterest, just my go-to, and then to Ken to see if I could find a way to make the coasters, but nothing looked good, so I decided to get in touch with good old Ken and see what suggestions he had for me, and so here I am.
Well, hopefully you like his suggestion, and if you do, we're going to send Ken to you to make the patches for you, make the coasters.
A trip to Florida!
That would be awesome.
Well, first, Janice, I want to say this is so great. The reason why this touched me, because my dad was in the military. Your friend, he served 20 years as well, right?
Yes, he did.
You know, and so you have these sort of wonderful the memorabilia, the patches, and you want to find a way to honor them and use them, and sometimes it's a little tricky to figure out how best to do that. So the fact that you sort of are celebrating his service to our country, so thank him and thank you.
Thank you.
I certainly will.
So much so. So what do we do, Ken? What do we have to do to get started?
So I went about this a couple of different ways, and this is what I ended up with because I was doing one way, but then you said you want to make sure you don't that if you need to remove the badges at one point, you can do that. So I decided to go with a classic felt cork coaster. It's only going to cost you like $1 or so, $1 or $2 per coaster. You're not going to permanently damage the badge, and you can sort of customize it to look however you want to. So all you're going to need are these cork sheets, which usually come in like a pack of 4 for making bulletin boards, etc. Craft felt, and for this I use the inexpensive felt that's like kind of stiff. It's kind of board-like, just because it's going to be a little easier to work with. Glue and your badge. It's really that simple. So. And you're a big deal. You, I know, are not a DIY. Last time you helped me with the DIY project, I'm sure I remember the carrot centerpiece was a disaster.
My mother said as much. I got off the show. She goes, "You need to apologize to that poor Ken."
Oh boy. Yeah. Your mom's saying that.
Right, so I'll focus on you because you're actually a coping DIY person. Yes. So first you're going to measure, standard coasters are 4 inches. So you just want to measure 4 inches, get your blade, and cut a square. And that's going to be the bottom of your coaster that's going to protect your table. And hey, Debbie, you're
okay. I can be crafty.
Stay away. No product for you.
I'll just.
You ask the questions, Patrick, and we'll.
You ask the questions, right?
There you go.
So then you're going to get your piece of cork and get felt. Pick which colors you want. I've basically been picking colors that are already in the badges, and you just want to cut those off. What happened to our scissors? Here we go.
Great. Janice Ann, this is easy enough, right? You could do this.
Yeah, it sounds good. And actually my dad, he was a first responder at Ground Zero, and I just lost him in August. So this is something I would do as well for his badges.
Oh, my goodness.
You just have a wonderful, family and network of contributors. That's very nice. So once you do that, get your thing, cut them in triangles or cut your square into rectangles. And then all you're going to do is simple, use a little clear craft glue.
Does that work?
There you go. I've got some pre-cut ones for you here, girl.
Oh, thank you. Look at that.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, love.
Then a little bit of glue.
Thank you.
And then you're just gonna, and you want to glue. You want to do a lot of glue on the felt.
You're really going to help me.
Just
really
to Debbie, 2 hour show, Debbie. 2 hour show, Debbie.
2 hour show.
2 hour show.
There we go. We said a lot of glue, huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, he's
and so I like doing the double color, but you could also do it in single color. You could do it with the rectangles. You have lots of different options. And then all you're going to do is get your badge and pop your badge right on top.
And
now,
you're saying you, if you needed to, you wanted to do something with them later, you could remove the badge without damaging them.
When you put the badge on, what I would do, Jonathan, is just do 4 dots of glue. So you're not over gluing that.
Sure.
Thank you, honey.
There
And
you
then, truthfully, if you wanted to go a step further, couldn't you like figure out to put glass on top of it if you wanted to, Ken?
You could. It's going to get a little bit trickier, but you could.
That's beautiful.
Look how nice that is and so easy.
Think you could do that yourself?
I sure can. That looks awesome. I love it.
Oh, Janice, you're supposed to say you can't do it yourself so we can ship
Send
Ken
Ken
there.
down
There you go.
Wait, try
It doesn't
it, and
matter.
then
You
come.
need to ship him over. I always love doing DIYs.
Wait till January when it's really rainy in San Francisco. Tell us you can't do it, and then send me over.